just how exactly is this nearly 2,000 crore rupee steel flyover going to help the residents of Bengaluru, if at all? Debating that with a packed panel tonight. Prakash Belawadi, theatre personality and journalist, is with us from Bangalore. With him, Naresh, Narasimhan, architect and urban developer. Also with us from Bangalore, CEO of NammaBengaluru Foundation, Sridhar Pabbisetty, and a senior advocate, Kailash, Vasdev, with us from Delhi. We also have former Joint Commissioner of Delhi Police, Maxwell, Pereira, Tanveer, Ahmad, spokesperson of the JDS, Dr. Sumanth, Raman, a sports commentator and, of course, a public and a political commentator as well, and Mahesh Singh, MD, Altavon, with us from Bangalore. Prakash Belawadi, let's try and understand the situation and the problem from you first, because the Chief Minister has come out and said that this is essentially to aid the traffic problem in Bengaluru. It's going to help the residents of Bengaluru. There is no question of going back on it. And he also claims that a majority of the citizens support it. We know that claim is completely refutable. But let's understand from you, what is the major problem with this proposed steel flyover?
You know, Bangalore is an old city. It's, I think, what, 460 years? 80 years old. 480 years old, next year. Now, the thing is, parts of the city have very narrow roads, and we have gone through a paradigm of development of road widening, where we have already sacrificed a number of trees. We have actually changed the way we live. And not even once have we looked at the option of creating a sustainable, comprehensive mobility plan. Now, the thing is, last year, when the Congress party put out its manifesto for the BBMP elections, that is the municipal elections in the city, on August 10th, they had a 4-point charter for improving mobility in the city. The first was to build elevated north-south, east-west corridors. The second was a commuter rail. The third was a monorail option. And the fourth was to build 40 little flyovers at 40 little junctions which were jammed. There was no mention of this steel flyover. Now the government claims that in the cabinet they said they will build, they're going to allocate funds for a 6-lane flyover. But it was not mentioned. We don't know when it came back into the picture. Exactly 1 month later, in September 2015,
okay,
they actually had done the detailed project report of it and done the tendering. So it looks like a very hastily drawn, very suspect project.
Yeah.
And the consultation about which you already have said, I don't want to
let's get to the point then, Prakash. If you are you're raising doubts over the project itself, the intention behind the project itself. We know there are environmental concerns. We know that nearly 900 trees are going to be cut for this. So we'll come to those issues later. Why do you question the intent behind this project itself? Why do you think it is?
You know, I think you should be fair. It's not the entire Congress party in the state or the Congress government itself that is interested in this flyover. This seems to be the interest of just one minister in government, okay, the Minister for Bengaluru Development, who actually, as soon as he came back, I mean, he had resigned on some allegations. As soon as he came back, the project came back, and it is being pushed through at breakneck speed. Yeah. And they make up the Prakash design Belawadi. As they talk. Every week they change the design.
Yeah, Prakash Belawadi, you spoke about the breakneck speed, and we'll give you proof of how this breakneck speed was witnessed in Bengaluru. Tanveer Ahmad, question to you. Is it true or not that a sample size of 299 people was good enough for the government? You gave the city of Bengaluru 48 hours to respond to the flyover. You got 299 responses, and you said, yes, we're good to go.
Yes. This is definitely very, very laughable. A city which is called as Silicon Capital of the world, and you just rely on 299 emails, out of which we don't know how many of our Hawks emails which were sent by the government officials themselves or the officials themselves. This is initially our city was known as Garden City, and then it became Garbage City. Today nothing but it is just a concrete city The steel flyover is going to be like a hard dragger in the chest of Bangalore.
Tanveer, do you defend this flyover or not? Do you defend the VVIP flyover or not? Are you for the flyover? Are you against the flyover?
We are standing with the citizens of Bangalore, because we are definitely against anything which is not going to be in the interest of the city.
Okay.
How are we going to answer to the generations to come about 812 trees which are more than 150-year-old trees?
Yeah, got it. Okay, it's not about. I'll tell you what. Yes, environment and 820 trees is, yes, it is one of the big concerns. There are other concerns as well. Let's put that question. I think Sumanth, Raman, does Bangalore need a flyover for the Khas Admi? For the Khas Admi, this is a Khas Admi flyover. Look, do you agree with that, or do you defend?
No, it's not a question of defending or not defending. I'm sure all those who are opposing the flyover do have a very valid point. But at the outset, it's very important to understand that, as the gentleman said, one minister alone wants to push a flyover through. It can't happen, at least without the chief minister at least not opposing it. A cabinet decision has been taken. Obviously, if they had wanted to put it on hold, the cabinet could have put it on hold. So obviously they didn't do it. The chief minister has certainly not at any stage expressed his opposition in any vocal terms. So it's not right to say that just one man wants the flyover and the government is entirely opposed to it. So that's not really true. The second point is, if you want to stop a government project from going forward, you have the option of going to court, which has already happened. The public interest litigation has already been filed. And you have the option of showing that due process has been violated or the appropriate sanctions have not been done. So if they have not been done, then the courts are themselves going to step in and say put it on hold until those the process is followed. So I think that I think merely getting a few thousand people to agitate in a city of close to 10 million people does not definitely tell us whether the people are for or against
Does 299 responses in that case tell you that the city wants a flyover? You spoke about 10 million people. If you're speaking about the voice of Bangalore, will 299 people tell you that yes, we want the flyover? Is that enough for a flyover to go ahead? Is 299 a bigger number?
Absolutely not.
If 299 a bigger number or 44,000?
I agree with you. Rushing a project through, absolutely. No, 1 minute. Neither does 299 convey it, nor does 44,000 convey it. All you need to do is, get the experts involved, ask them what the damage is going to be, because right now everybody is an expert, everybody has an opinion, everybody is giving views on how much of damage will there be to the environment, how much of damage there will be, as if once 800 trees are cut, Bangalore will be completely destroyed and so on.
I'm sure you'll agree.
Experts need to speak up. I mean,
they are speaking up.
The government also needs to be more transparent. The government needs to be more transparent. Bring their experts, whoever has evaluated it. Saying that we cannot give information under RTI and all that really does not help their cause. So they will have to be more transparent, allow their experts to make a public presentation, explain their point of view in greater detail.
Let's put that question.
Fine. Sumanth,
go ahead. Tina, go ahead.
Niranjan, I just want to in fact add to the point that you were making. The issue is that when experts are brought in, and I'm just going to talk about some other alternatives that experts have proposed here at a fraction of the cost. At 90 crore, there are experts who've said that the same money, not just 90 crore, not 1700 crore, mind you, can be used to make as many as 400 to 500 shorter 3-lane flyovers within the city, which is also going to do the same, which is alleviate the stress of traffic. Now, the issue here is, why is the government so insistent on this one project, apart from the fact that, as we understand it, it's going to largely connect the VVIP zones to the airport? That is the question. Sridhar, Pabbisetty, if we can come to you. What is this reason that
But if you feel there is malafide in it, that should be established.
No, you're saying, okay, the citizens can go to court and whether or not due process has been followed. That's one thing. I'm trying to understand what exactly is the purpose.
No, if there is malafide, which is being alleged, undue haste, that can be proven.
That can be probed. I'm just trying to understand here what is the main reason why this particular 1700 plus crore steel flyover is the answer to Bengaluru's woes. Sridhar, what's your take on it? Why does KJ George believe, and of course, as Sumanth Raman has pointed out, not one man alone, the entire government believe this is the answer?
Yeah. So let's look at what NammaBengaluru Foundation has been looking at this issue. We started looking at this issue quite early on the overall mobility, starting from February of last year, and also earlier in July, when we got to know that this program, there is this proposal of doing the steel flyover, we put applications under Right to Information Act with the Bengaluru Development Agency, asking for few critical questions which are norms in any project. Where is the detailed project report? Kindly give it to us. Give us the information on who are the people who submitted bids, how was the process taken on shortlisting the bids, who were selected, etc., etc. And we also asked important questions of saying what were the alternatives considered, and how did you do the public consultation? How come 299 people were seen as the
voice of Bangalore,
the voice, and why wasn't the public consultation done in a due, effective and deliberate manner, as has been mandated by various Supreme Court judgments time and again? And what surprised us was that no information was given, but vague reply of saying why it can't be given, including things like the information you seek has to be created. Right? We don't understand what is the due process this government has followed in kind of not putting information in the public domain. It was only after a huge uproar that the government decided to put this DPR in the public domain. Right? So second thing that was very, very surprising is the way the public consultation or the public opinion gathering was done. There was no enough information put out onto the public domain so that any normal citizen can appreciate and either support or not support a project such as this flyover.
Yeah.
Right? It was a small advertisement in the newspaper, and
it was done in such a way.
Hit more than it disclosed.
Naresh, it was done in such a way. Naresh, like you're saying,
now these details are emerging out.
Yeah. Naresh, like you're saying.
Allow me one more minute.
Make your point. Make your point.
The third challenge in this. The third challenge here is that this is not a project that is there in BDA's master plan, and hence it does not have the authority to go ahead with this, and cabinet cannot approve it unless it's done through the Bangalore Metropolitan Planning Committee, which is in vogue, and the CM himself is the chairperson of it. Why hasn't this project been tabled? Such a significant project with 1,800 crore investment, which will impact 812 trees. Why hasn't this been put to the Bangalore Metropolitan Planning Committee?
Yeah, let me put that question to Mahesh.
Where is the due process of law?
Yeah. And Sridhar, I want to put that question to Mahesh, because see, Mahesh, the manner in which, Sridhar is also saying the same thing.
Please.
The manner in which this project was pushed is suspect. It's shady, to say the least. It's shady. There are also allegations that a big cut of this is going to the elections that are coming up in several other states. Now, these are allegations. These are not substantiated. But you look at the manner in which the government has pushed this project, it tells you the story of how, one, there's something shady about it, two, they're doing it to suit themselves. Who is going to benefit out of this? It's proven, it's the VVIPs and those living in that stretch. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I'd like to make my point here. As a citizen of Bangalore, I travel every day on that route, and there is about 8 to 10 lakh people who travel on that same stretch. It is not just about VVIPs. Every day, at least about 4 to 5 lakh vehicles travel on that stretch. And the kind of traffic that is there, because the airport has been shifted from Indiranagar towards Devanahalli, there's also, this road also connects to the NH. So there's a huge traffic there which is going to be shifted from one point to the actual national highway. So there's this is not actually what it is being made like. It is not only for VVIPs. Everybody travels on that road. Of course, also VVIPs also travel on that road. And if at all, if there is any, if like how you are saying, if there is any amount being made in this, that has to be looked into by the opposition. they have to come out with the details.
Okay, fine. Mahesh, I have a question for you then. Mahesh, I have a question for you then. Okay. Now, I want to understand. No, let's get back to the beginning. I want to understand. I want to understand. You're saying that this route sees a lot of traffic. There would be lakhs of people that would be using this flyover eventually. So I have two questions for you. I want to understand what was the process that was used to decide that this is the best possible solution? Who conducted that study? What was the basis for that study? Where are the details of that? That this is the answer to Bangalore's woes. 1 second, I'm not done yet. Hear me out and then answer me. That's one. Secondly, I want to know how much time is it really going to save? What does the study tell you? What does the study tell the government? When they spend 1,800 crore, they cut down 900 trees. What kind of time difference is it going to make for someone commuting on that road? 10 minutes?
Of cutting down the 900 trees. I'm not in the favor of cutting down the 900, 800 odd trees. They should be shifted. There's a huge golf course right in the middle of Bangalore. This can be used to shift all these trees into this golf course, and the golf course has to be shifted out of Bangalore. And this can be used as a mini forest. And you have to shift all these trees into this golf course, which can be turned into a mini forest. And this is one of the ideas, and it is for the experts to tell a better idea to not cut the trees and
no, 1 second. In that case, by your own logic, Mahesh, by your own logic, and let me
the experts to suggest.
By your own logic, let me bring in Naresh at this point. Naresh Narasimhan, by his own logic, there are so many things that 1,800 crore rupees can do. And in fact, we've done a little bit of reading on the subject. We will tell you what 1,000. No, I'll tell you, Mahesh, because you said there are other solutions. I'll tell you why. One, this is made for VVIPs. Two, why 1,800 crore rupee steel bridge is not the solution. Solution one, why don't you send this money to develop monorails that can transport 10,000 to 15,000 passengers? You gave me a large number of people.
They should not only monorails, metro has to come.
You spoke
not
about
just monorails.
Mahesh, listen to me. You spoke about
monorails are gone. Monorails are history.
1 second. Yeah, why don't you build monorail? Why don't you build a
monorail is history.
Okay, hold on. 1,800 crore rupees can be used to deploy 9,000 public buses in Bengaluru and ease traffic congestion. Why not spend this money there? Wait, recently there was a survey done. 349 roads with over 1,800 potholes. This is only 349 roads. 349 roads over 3,000, I think 1,800 potholes. And you're telling me that there's so many other things that we can do. This is very much needed. Naresh, why is this argument that this is needed for Bengaluru's good? Why is that argument flawed?
Enrique Penaloza, the mayor of Bogota, said there are two ways to destroy a city. One is to drop a nuclear bomb on it. The other is to build elevated roads. Okay, what they are trying to do is create a caste system of people in the city, depending on what kind of vehicle you drive. This elevated road is only meant for cars, which by definition to the rest of the city are only used by people who can afford it. And on top of that, there was a plan announced hastily to toll this, and which they were not aware that you cannot toll a road within city limits, and now they are backtracking on it. Now, first, the BDA does not have the money in the first place, 1,800 crores to spend it. They are planning to fund this through selling sites, like a real estate agency. The Bangalore Development Authority has no competence to do this because they do not have mobility experts. There is not a single mobility expert inside the BDA. Second, this is a project which is announced as spur of the moment, kept under wraps till the very last minute. And only when we started asking questions, they're releasing data one by one. The world over, the people have done this already stupidly in the West, and they're breaking it down and making their cities lively with public transport, with bicycling, with pedestrianization, and so on. And really speaking, flyovers are really required only in 3 locations in a city. One over a river, then it's called a bridge. One over a ring road, where it connects with the arterial road, so that to make the traffic flow smooth in both directions. Or over a train, or under or over a train track, because the trains don't go up and down, they go in a straight line.
Mahesh,
there is no other reason why...
exactly. There's no other reason why they would come up with such a hasty project. I want to bring in Tanveer here. Tanveer, you can't get away.
Clearly this is... clearly this project... This project is only
Before that, can I tell the reason,
I don't know,
please?
benefit whom in particular? What is that?
No, he says, Tanveer Ahmad from the JDS says it's going to benefit someone. Yeah, Tanveer, before you say anything, you're an ally with the Congress at the BBMP level, yes or no? At the local level, at the civic body level, you're an ally with the Congress, yes or no?
We are.
Exactly.
We are
one second. In that case,
yes,
one second. If you're with the Congress,
party.
1 second, Tanveer. If you're with the Congress, 154 days ago, I think it was 23rd of May 2016, when a 16-year-old Savita, who was riding pillion on the bike with her brother, was crushed to death by a bus after her brother lost control of the vehicle on Mysore Road, ridden with potholes. It was the same development minister, KJ George, who's today pushing for the VVIP flyover, who said, don't blame potholes for deaths in the city. Why don't you invest this 1,800 crore rupees on first fixing the potholes, which are now synonymous with the city of Bangalore?
Let me just answer your question another way. Please, you need to understand that Congress has an election in Punjab. They have an election in Goa. They have an election in Uttar Pradesh. And this is the only place where Congress is ruling. I am not going to say anything more than this.
No, 1 second. What
you need to really understand clearly what is happening to the city.
What is the point you're making?
This city is being...
Tanveer, the point you're making is very similar to the charges and the allegation, the wild allegations being thrown. So you're adding to it. You're adding to it saying there's a reason why they're doing this. They're doing this because elections are coming up in other states.
No wild allegation. You need to understand. You need to read between the lines. You need to read between the lines.
Please,
now you have to prove it. You have to prove these allegations.
Sorry?
Sumant, what is he trying to allude to?
Obviously you know what he's trying to allude to, but it doesn't make, it's not fair to make such allegations without having any evidence or producing any proof. So,
he won't go the full distance. He won't just say it.
Say, first and foremost, let me ask you, bit by bit, let me just tell you, was there any expert consulted here? Was there any scientific research done whether the steel flyover is going to help or not? Did we contact any ecologist, any environmentalist? No, absolutely no. No scientists were consulted. Yesterday, I met the professor of Indian Institute of Science and Indian Institute of Agricultural Science.
Sumanth, it's very interesting
because comes and says that they were not even consulted.
1 second, Sumanth, it's very interesting because it's the BBMP that
all of that only goes to prove that perhaps due process may not have been followed. But it does not prove anything else.
It starts with Tanveer and his ally.
I think very clearly, whether the bridge is a good idea or a bad idea is a different issue.
Sumant, before you respond, there is a clear connection between the two issues. Sumant, you're saying that perhaps this shows due process was not followed. Okay, so what he's saying is nobody was consulted. There was no scientific study.
If it was not, then the courts will strike it down.
Yeah.
If the courts, if due process has not been followed, this will be struck down by the court.
Sumant, I know we need to bring in Maxwell Pereira also and Kailash Vasdev. Just give me a couple of minutes, gentlemen. But Sumant, the two issues are related. If this has literally sprung out of nowhere, if a proper study, research has not been conducted, where did this need arise from then? To create this 1,800 crore worth huge steel structure in the middle of the city. Who says it's needed?
One sec.
Where has this demand come from? Who has said this is the answer to Bangalore's traffic problems?
1 minute. That is a call. That is a call for a government to take. I remember there was a similar issue also in Hyderabad when they built the 11-kilometer PV Narasimhan Rao expressway or the elevated road. There were people who were opposed to it. Today, that has made a significant impact. I'm not saying all flyovers are great and flyovers solve
question,
problems.
okay, let's get Maxwell Pereira and Kailash Vasdev in on this. Sumant,
making allegations.
Okay, there are two different issues.
Without evidence, making allegations.
Yeah, what you're saying is the allegations have been made without any kind of basis to them. What I'm asking is then why this need? Okay, so I'm going to take your question to Kailash Vasdev first and then Maxwell Pereira. Kailash Vasdev, if as we understand right now, no major study, scientific research, expert consultation has in fact been conducted, then from where has this idea come that this is the answer? to Bangalore's traffic woes. Who has decided that this is going to help Bangalore, a city which, as Niranjan already pointed out, is absolutely choking with toxicity, with pollution, with the cutting down of trees? This project, which is going to cut down another 900 trees, which is going to create a steel monstrosity in the heart of the city at a cost of 1800 crore rupees. Who has decided that this is the best solution then? First Kailash and then Maxwell Pereira.
See, the position is this. You have the Bangalore Development Authority, which is constituted under an act. The act has various provisions. You have a master plan. Based on the master plan, you have a zonal plan. Based on the zonal plans, you have a subdivisional plan. The planning authorities in the country are all the same. The acts are all the same by and large. There's a procedure prescribed for any development and the framing of any master plan. From the conversation which I'm hearing just now between the representatives of the people as also authorities, it appears that none of these plans, or none of these procedures have been followed for the purposes of arriving at this flyover at whatever costs. Then, in addition to the master plans and the development plans of a city, you also have environmental clearances. I have not heard of any talk so far in this entire conversation of there being any environmental clearance having had been obtained, because lopping of trees has its own significant aspect. To make it worse and compound the whole situation as the people of Bangalore are now seeing it, over the past 10 years, the environment in Bangalore has not changed. It has gone from bad to worse. You've had water problems, you've had floods, you've had dirty lakes, you've had filthy water flowing through the existing natural waterways.
Yes.
Now, if you're going to plan a city without any plan or create structures in a city without any plans, it is not going to help a city.
Yeah.
The areas in which this flyover is going to be connecting eventually is going to be into the heart of the city from a high-speed road. The high-speed road is already an 8-lane highway, as I remember seeing it a few years ago. If you converge an 8-lane highway into 4 lanes and then into 2 lanes, there is never going to be an answer to solving a traffic problem. You will have a situation of creating it.
Yeah.
Old Bangalore has its own ethos. It's had its own systems. We've seen a lot of high-rise buildings which have come up. Call it Silicon City, call it developments for any purposes. But the infrastructure has been damaged in a very macabre manner. You now have the metro coming up. You have intentions of developing Bangalore into a world-class city. All these things are not going to take
Kailash,
you there
Vasdev,
if you don't have expertise coming in through the provisions of a statute which governs development.
Yeah, but the question
courts
is...
come into the picture when you find that there is a departure from that. How much can the courts regulate?
Yeah.
In the courts, we are not experts.
Kailash, Vasdev, let's bring in Maxwell Pereira at this point.
Come and help.
Yeah, Kailash Pereira, I just want to bring in Maxwell Pereira at this point. Mr. Pereira, why do you think this this flyover, which is built at a cost of about 1,800 crore rupees, will save approximately 10 minutes to the people who will use this VVIP facility? We've spoken about the fact that it will benefit VVIPs and people. VVIPs essentially because it is a stretch between the assembly and the airport link road where most of the ministers live. Straight out of the assembly, they come out and they go to the airport road without any traffic movement. Okay. Second, it will save 10 minutes to the people who use this. How does saving 10 minutes or saving 600 seconds merit a 1,800 crore rupee expenditure, especially when it's going to help the ministers and VVIPs here?
I have listened to all the debate very patiently.
Yes,
Give
sir.
me a few minutes to, put across a few points.
Yes.
I take it all the debaters or the speakers so far are concerned citizens of Bangalore. They have a point of view. They have certain concerns they have voiced. Now one can literally list these concerns and see how best they can be tackled. Number one, as a traffic manager who has managed traffic scenarios for more years than I would like to remember, I want to put across a point that normally any developmental project is resisted by the public. They do not want this change. They will come up with every kind of obstacle or negative aspect about the project to
Sir, are you saying the people of Bengaluru are wrong in this case? Mr. Pereira,
1 minute.
Are you saying the people of Bengaluru and the concerns that have been raised?
One second. Understand. Please have patience in what I'm trying to tell you. You will understand what I'm trying to tell you. It is not necessarily that the people of Bangalore are wrong in thinking what they are doing. I said that they have concerns. Please list out the concerns and we have to see how best these solutions can be found for these concerns. Number one. Number two, I mean, one of the speakers before me has very categorically explained that this will never be only for VIPs. You are harping again and again that is only for VIPs. I'll tell you. No, it can never be only for VIPs.
Sir, it is for VVIPs.
No, you need not tell me anything. You need not tell me anything.
Mr. Pereira, it's not me saying it, sir. It's not me saying it.
Because you have called me here to give me a certain...
Yes, but I'm just trying to tell you that you're wrong.
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
That you're wrong.
There are those who want to... Yeah, I may be wrong, but listen to me. Listen to me and you know, throw it out of the window if you don't like it. But then listen to me, there are certain points. And it is normal and natural for people to scuttle these programs. I have had bosses who have told me to resist it at meetings because we do not want inconvenience, we do not want temporary. We want temporary convenience in favor of any future convenience. Sir, there is so much more. Mr.
So
Pereira, these are normal,
Mr. Pereira,
natural
let me bring in Prakash Belawadi at this point.
Yes,
Prakash
I'm
Belawadi,
sure there is.
sir.
And this is not the only
your
project.
Basic argument. Sir, your basic argument is
why is this project, one again and again?
I got your point, Mr. Pereira. Mr. Pereira, you're saying any project that comes up, there will be some opposition or the other. There will be one obstacle or the other. But will more than 1 lakh people come on the streets to block or to raise their voice in this case? Prakash Belawadi, can you please tell Mr. Maxwell Pereira why he's wrong? Meanwhile, the lines are also open. We're getting a lot of calls. We'll take some of those calls with Prakash Belawadi.
You must start.
Yeah, please speak. Please make your point.
You must down my voice, then don't call me.
Sir, you must understand, sir. Sir, please understand that this is not the most congested area in Bangalore. Bangalore is a horror of traffic congestion. There is a place called Silk Boat Junction where every day about 1.2 million vehicle users get trapped with an elevated road. It doesn't work. It's not that this is going to clear anything else, and it's not going to clear even where it is happening, is what the experts are saying. From the government side, not a single expert has come out in defense of this project. In fact, the government's own mobility expert, Mr. Sridhar, has been on channels all day today saying why this is an unscientific and unethical project. Those are his words. Actually, this is a serious problem. It's not as though, there is actually, ironically, the other problem. People are saying, how come you people have come to the streets for this? It's not like we are activists. I mean, we got other lives. We want to go back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take some of the callers. Tina, we're getting a lot of callers. Let's take our first viewer from Bengaluru calling us in on the news. I think Prasanna is on the phone line. Yes, Prasanna, what's the point that you'd like to make on the show?
Yeah, I have been watching this particular debate. In fact, I had written a mail yesterday to Times New to bring up this issue on the channel. And thanks for bringing...
Yeah, thank you, Prasanna. Go ahead. What's your point?
Yeah, and thanks for bringing up this issue on the debate on Newshour channel. So, first of all, this particular steel flyover is totally unscientific with a stretch of 16 kilometers length. And as the word itself says, it is made of steel, and as one of the gentlemen said, now already the temperature in Bangalore is already rising from 10 a.m. till late evening up to 5 p.m. And with particular this bridge construction, flyover construction during the summer, the surrounding area will get heated up very, very seriously. And this is going to be like a punishment for the citizens who are living surrounding that places. And this particular flyover is not giving any kind of solution for the traffic problem in the Bangalore. As again another gentleman pointed out, there are so many other places where traffic congestion is taking place every day. Because all these ministers, they are given VVIP treatment, stopping all the traffic. So they pass through any junction very quickly. Whereas normal citizen.
No, we know, and you know, the point that you're making is also
Yeah.
something that's been echoed by many of our panelists tonight, that this
Yes.
is not necessarily the most
and,
congested part of
one
Bengaluru.
Mr.,
Prasanna, thank you for calling in. Really appreciate it. I'm afraid we are running out of time, so we're going to quickly try and start winding up this debate. And if I can come back to you, Dr. Sumanth Raman, on a couple of points that have come up, and also in response to what Maxwell Pereira brought up. The question is, a development project, he says, will always be blocked by people because people are resistant to change. But is that the case here? The case here is this is a developmental project supposedly at a massive ecological cost in a city which is already reeling under huge ecological environmental losses. That's number one. In this day and age, we need to keep ecology into consideration. Number two, where is the expert opinion on this as to how this is the best possible solution?
Can I add something to this?
Yeah, please do.
I think two things.
Please do.
One is clearly government needs to be more transparent. They have got to come forward. They've got to come forward. Yeah, government needs to be more transparent. They've got to come forward and state who their experts are and what are the studies that have been done. At the same time, the multitude of voices that are voicing their opposition to this project also, we do not know the level of scientific study that has been done on the other side as well. So for instance, this classic thing that, you know, the 6 kilometers of steel will heat up Bangalore beyond by several degrees and all that. God knows how much of that is scientific as well.
Steel will heat up the city more than 900 degrees. Even I can tell you that, and I'm not a scientist. If it's a
we don't know. Nobody, come on, come on. Today there is enough and more modern technology. I heard somebody giving 1 minute, Tina. I heard somebody giving monorail. I heard somebody giving monorail as an alternative. Monorail is history as a mass rapid transit system anywhere in the world. No country in the world does it now anymore. There have been 3 monorail projects in 3 cities around the whole world. So everybody has got ideas. Everybody thinks that this is a better thing to do.
Okay, Sumanth, running out of time.
The honest answer is the government has not been transparent.
Yeah, Sumanth, let Naresh take that point. Let Naresh take that point. No, 1 second. Let Naresh take that point. Naresh, you had, quickly.
Yeah, I want to answer. The government seems to be very efficiently pointing out that all the people who are protesting against this are against development, and they are pro-development. Development does not mean urban degradation and destruction of natural resources. Things can be done in a much simpler way. The world is moving towards mass transit. Why should Bangalore encourage private transportation at the cost of mass transportation?
Yeah.
We are not able to complete a metro project. We have gone to, what was a project for 10,000 crores has gone to 30,000 crores, and 9 years have passed and we still have a Mickey Mouse network of a train.
And Naresh, the point is, Naresh, the point is you can't throw 1,800 crore rupees at a city which doesn't even want the flyover in the first place. And if you say that, when a chief minister says...
There are lots of priorities.
Yeah. When a chief minister says...
There are lots of priorities in the city.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
No, I was saying when the chief minister says 73% of the people have supported the steel flyover. Who are these 73%?
That is 200 and... No, exactly. 73% is 73% of 299.
That's
217 people.
I'm sorry. That's a ridiculous number.
But those are the lies being peddled.
We have 50,000 people.
Yeah, that is a ridiculous number.
Those are the lies being peddled.
You cannot say... Yeah. You cannot use percentages in terms of absolutes.
And the thing is, nobody offered a monorail solution here. It was offered by the government.
The government offered it.
Well, the fact is...
Yes, in fact, let me just point out, in fact, Sumanth, you were asking about that, and we were talking about some of the options that have been proposed. Some of the options that have been proposed. Very quickly, Sridhar wants to get a word in. Let's quickly get him to say the last few words and we need to wind up.
Yeah. See, correct. So there is failure of due process to be followed here, and the Karnataka High Court has admitted our PIL in this case, and it's going to be heard on November 2nd. The key question is this: why aren't these information out in the public domain? Why do you want to rush through a project and announce that it's going to be the foundation is going to be laid in 4 days, 5 days, 7 days? Why don't you put this out in the public domain and have a due and effective public consultation? The city wants development, the city wants infrastructure, but it's not a cross purpose. It has to be done through due process of law. Why are we not why are we not adhering to the constitution,
Yeah,
and
Sridhar,
why are we
point
insulting the 74th amendment?
Point taken.
Put the
Sridhar, point
Metropolitan
taken.
Committee
There is
in charge of
something.
looking at multi-year plans.
There is something shady about the manner in which this project was pushed, and if a chief minister can
Absolutely.
argue that 73% of Bangalore is on board, and if 299 is the number of responses that came into the project, we know that
No, that
something.
cannot be. That
No,
cannot-
something
that's
is
an
really
absurd,
shady about this.
you know, you
Something
can't
is
argue
really
on
shady
that
about
basis
this
on the basis
project.
of 299.
We'll take this up forward. We'll take this up forward. I think everybody is of the opinion. Everybody agrees that if a government says 299 is the number of people that responded, there's something shady about it. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for all our callers, all our viewers who've been calling in.
They
We
just
haven't been
need to
able to
be
take
more
all of those calls,
transparent.
but good response to this one. Thank you for joining us.